Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fantasy preview. Today, we are going to cover Dwayne Bravo, who is going to play in a one sided match, or maybe not a one sided match. Let's see how that goes. And let's hear Nikhil Bhai's opinion on who's going to win because he's having quite a few predictions right.
Let's just keep going. Let's just keep looking at multiple opportunities to make some money from every possible sources. But see, yesterday it was a tough game. I think for most, if they didn't have Henry Brooks, but that's the thing about joining the right contest. I was still in
Hmm.
profit because none of my opponents had Brooks because those
Hmm.
opponents and contests are important, which is why we keep harping find your niche of contest because then even if you have a player who's given over 200 points you could still get something out of the game. So that was a good lesson. And Will Smith was great. I think we backed him. We said कि पहले इनिंग में he's always had good run at this venue.
Hmm.
यहाँ से बर्मिंघम से बाहर निकाल तो विल स्मिथ रन नहीं मारते. तब वो
Hmm.
सच होता है कि नहीं वो तो बाद में पता चलेगा. But yes, we keep sharing opinions. Eventually it's up to you to mix and match, and then yes, let's go. Jai Mata Di.
Right, totally. And how do you feel about someone like, okay, one side was Brooks getting wickets which were unparalleled because other guys put pressure. That was one side. The other side also
Hmm.
was someone like Imran Tahir not even completing a set. Then there was the other instance where Benny Howell, who actually put all the pressure, didn't really end up getting so many
Hmm.
wickets. So in this scenario where Brooks has got 5 wickets, do you actually go and back him on the next game? Or do you see that he's the one who got maybe the ice cream of the cake that was actually served by someone else?
Yeah, so see that is always going to be part of T20 of any form of cricket. I mean, for a long time, Trent Bolt got wickets for Mumbai because Bumrah was
Hmm.
building up that pressure. It's not
Right.
to say that he wasn't bowling well; he was also bowling
Hmm.
well, but it's how it is. It's about partnerships. So, in the
Hmm.
next game, you have to see whether the conditions that were there yesterday are they going to be a repeat. Will
Right.
Birmingham have a score? If yes, then Henry Brooks is their enforcer kind of a
Hmm.
guy, and then you can eventually either back him or not back him. But see, most times when the game is open like that, no contest,
Hmm.
you will see changes by most teams. And given now this is the starting of the season, best time for these experiments because now we know कि अगर
Right.
किसी के पास जाना है विकेट के लिए तो मे बी ब्रूक्स
Hmm.
माइट बी द गाय. So
Hmm.
that's how maybe we can also save information for ourselves कि भाई
Hmm.
ताहिर को नहीं मिली ओवर. Kane
Hmm.
Richardson took 3 wickets in second innings. I don't remember the last time that happened. But
Hmm.
again, he came on two balls with tail enders and then he got 2 wickets. So,
Finish both of them. Hmm.
so that is something that's never going to be in your control. But yeah, eventually it's about a visualization. Some days it will come good, some days it will not.
Absolutely. So we'll go on and discuss the team. Till then, whoever is here, please feel free to comment all your questions. We'll take them all at
Yeah,
the end of the discussion. And on the same end, if you have not smashed that like button yet, go ahead and
please do
smash
that.
it. So first up, the keepers. You have some good options. You have Michael Pepper, Simpson, and Billings batting lower, and Jordan Cox, who didn't bat in the last game, but when he batted in the game before that, he had a lot of impact. So who's your first pick then, Nikhil Bhai?
I think Oval will have 3 players not playing. That's Will
Hmm.
Jacks, Jack Leaning as well because they're player. I think Jack Leaning might play this game. Will Jacks
Hmm.
will not play. Sam Billings is already playing the warm-up game,
Hmm.
so I think that will make Jordan Cox a good pick. Again,
Right.
depending on it's the same role that we thought for QDK. He's also
Hmm.
batting well, but if you feel Oval will definitely win, then you can take him. You could get some good points from him, especially if they bat first.
Right, totally. So we'll stick to Jordan Cox for now. Then we go to the batting. In the batting, we have a luxury of out of form batters to choose from, and Will Jacks is not going to play, nor is Harry Brook. So who do we go from here? I feel like Riley Russo is the best man, at least in terms of historic touch across the last few games that he's played. Who else
Yes.
do you see making it?
Uh, very tempted to go with Jason Roy. I don't know why. Just get a silly gut feel. Could be horribly wrong because he's going to lead a side
Hmm.
for the very first time. I just feel
Hmm.
he might just be that extra motivated or something. Again, this is just me backing my gut feel with nonsense.
Hmm.
So if you feel it will not come up, please go ahead and drop him. But remember, it's a day game. It's going to be an early
Hmm.
start, so the pitch should be more on the drier side. And if Oval bowl first, and they keep them to a very moderate score, Jason
Hmm.
Roy can get a very good score. So again, That is how I will make one of my teams.
Hmm.
But because otherwise you have options of Faf, Adam Lith.
Right.
But if Reece Topley plays, he can do what Luke Wood did. So that is
Hmm.
my only worry with picking both of them. I'll still maybe tempted to take Adam Lith over Faf.
Hmm.
Again, Faf has had more less cricket as compared to Adam Lith. But
Hmm.
again, one silly tip. I think last time a team was being announced, Faf scored runs. So today only we heard about Faf being picked by Chennai for the league in South Africa. So again,
Hmm.
try it in your Grand League.
Right, and actually, these two picks that you just highlighted, Jason Roy and Faf, he's not only spoken about their form or how they look on this ground or any data, he's also spoken about something very important, which is the mental side. Which, if I put in the caption of a team, people will mock or not make sense out of it. But these are like just like we are humans, even they are humans, so they have certain motivational factors. Maybe for Faf, getting announced in a new team is a motivational factor to do well on the day, or maybe for Roy, getting leadership is going to help him do well on the day. So that is a very interesting and important element that we don't take into account for a lot of times. So thanks for that one, Nikhil.
Yeah, see, it could work and it could also not work. So be ready for both parts of it.
Okay, then we have the all-rounders. Again, here this part is slightly easier with Narayan, Karin, and David Visa in good touch. And do you see Vandermeer bowling more in this game, or someone like Raso can totally neutralize him now that we're favoring him?
Ideally, he should be neutralized,
Hmm.
given that you have somebody who's in so much form, and we have to
Hmm.
remember if there is a situation where Sam, Russo, Narin are batting, then
Hmm.
Rulov will either go for 40 or he'll take three.
Right.
So that is something that can be discussed, like in terms of visualization, how you feel
Hmm.
that will happen. Because I do feel Sam will bat higher up the order,
Hmm.
so that could really put things out of place. And similarly, if they get one of these left-handers early, R- Van der Merwe could bowl a lot then to the
Hmm.
righties. So that is a matchup that it's going to be very tricky to call.
Right. So anyway, because he's a differential for now and won't
Yeah.
is not even guaranteed a full set, we can probably take the chance on leaving him. Then we have the bowlers. Dwayne Bravo, after batting at number 4, becomes a very risky leave. Reece Topley, who we expect should do well, especially because he's again a left-arm bowler and he's going to bowl up to Lith and Faf.
Yes.
And then we
Yep.
have Tom Curran, who is showing us good value in death as well as with the bat. Now, one part here that we're leaving out is Adil Rashid. Do you feel like Adil can have a day out because he's going to bowl to a lot of guys whose favorite, uh, I could say, mode of attack is not against spin?
Again, we can't disclose everything right before toss because we are going to
Hmm.
have toss. My point of that angle was I was waiting for the toss and the
Hmm.
pitch because Kennington Oval has not been an easy ground to score. Uh,
Right.
uh, the average score here last year was 126.
Hmm.
The average score in the blast in the last 3 years has been only 150. So
Right.
easy ground नहीं है score करने को. So if
Hmm.
and again day game, so that's also a factor. Agar
Hmm.
he's bowling second and they have a good score, then
Hmm.
Rashid could come into the game big time. Similarly, otherwise, if one of the top order gets out very early, say
Hmm.
Russo gets out very early, then you are into the all rounders who you don't know how much you'll get. You could get a 25-30, but Rashid
Hmm.
could then end up with 2-3 as well. So that was the call I felt I'll probably take after the toss. But I will not rule him out. If Reece Sabri doesn't play, I think Adil Rashid is a straight swap in. And yeah, I think that is the one logic because I do feel is game it's better to back people who will give you returns with both bat and ball as compared to just
Hmm.
one angle.
Right, fair enough. So I guess we'll leave that last pick and the captain and vice captain to decide post the toss because that will
Mhm.
be of great help. So till then, we are happy to take all your questions. So I'll start by going straight to them.
Yeah,
So the first one is cover the women's 100. Sir, we'll try to cover that on Telegram. Might not be able to do it on YouTube
yeah,
because doing 2 YouTube lives in a day might be
yeah.
slightly taxing. Something about
Yes.
Ben Drain, please. So he bowled with good variety in the last game, but I felt like he pitched it short too many times. And maybe if he's bowling first, you can try him, but I feel like he would be a risky pick. Any thoughts there?
I actually think he may not play this game.
Hmm.
But again,
If Willie's back, yeah.
yeah, because the thing with the thing here is they have Wahabrias on the bench, and
Hmm.
Potts is also not quite done that great. So
Hmm.
that is something that I feel could be a issue. Also, David Willie is somebody that we haven't discussed yet. If he doesn't play, I think Oval are going to be massive favorites. But if
Favorites.
he plays, maybe Ben Ren goes out for David Willie. So
Hmm.
that is something to see whether that happens, whether they get in Mahabrias or Jordan Clark comes in for somebody. So those are the few changes that could happen, because today I think majority will bring in your Sam, Sunil, and David as captain vice captain,
Hmm.
and I don't think anybody should be actually looking at anybody else if they are not sure of the game
Right.
panning out how it has been so far.
Hmm. True. True that. Uh, Oval quite a good venue for regular medium paces in
Yeah,
general. Also one of the top three, generally scores well in limited overs. So yeah, that also brings about a key point that Roy has very good numbers on this ground too. So yes, if you
Sunny
want to
boy.
go with yeah, if you want to go with medium pacers, then if Ben Rain is playing, maybe you can try him along with Visa. But we are not too sure in terms of will he complete his sets, which part of the game will he bowl in. Maybe if he bowls in the middle overs, even if his spell is great in terms of fantasy value, it might not be as additional for you.
Yep, that is the thing. I think with 100 we are going to realize a lot. uh, कल मैं आप लोग को
So
live
this
में
is the
invite कर-
reason
Yeah,
why we
please
didn't win
contact
yesterday.
Amber.
Please
I
contact please
still got my
contact him.
investment back. I still got my investment back, thankfully.
I didn't get anything back yesterday. That yesterday was officially my first no return game from the 100.
हाँ नहीं नहीं फेयर है आई थिंक केन रिचर्डसन को थोड़ी दिल से दुआ निकली मेरी बट स्टिल आई गॉट समथिंग बैक क्योंकि उसके पहले नहीं तो मैं सी दैट इज द थिंग विद जॉइनिंग द राइट लीग्स टिल केन रिचर्डसन टुक टू दोस टू विकेट्स आई वाज फर्स्ट इन 11 members and I
Hmm.
didn't have Henry Brooks. So that is the logic behind finding your own niche kind of a contest because it works out eventually.
Right, totally. Why are we opting for Cox? He didn't bat in the last match. So the reason is that Sam Billings is not going to play this game in all probability. So he's going to keep and bat higher Cox. That's the reason for backing him.
Yeah, and also with Pepper, I feel if I feel Oval are going to take new ball wickets, Pepper is batting in the top most
Hmm.
often. So that is, and I feel he's going to knock. He's not going to be someone who doesn't take too many risks. So I think that's where, which is why we've not preferred Pepper. But yes, if you feel Cox is not going to be of much value to you, please go ahead and back Pepper, because eventually, if you go with a 7-4 combination, you might not be picking Cox. You might pick every bowler from Oval if they are bowling
Hmm.
first. So yeah, in that scenario, you can go with Pepper.
Yes, absolutely. Uh, are you choosing percent player if Narayan bowls first, then he seems flop? So I don't think I'll take the chance of dropping a world-class player like Narayan against a Northern Superchargers lineup that seems in no form, because you have a set of batters there. You have some lefties also. You have some batters there who have not shown any kind of form. So do you want to drop a middle overs bowler against that kind of a lineup? Maybe not.
And also, we are never looking at percentages right now in terms of selecting the.
यहाँ तो परसेंट है ही नहीं यार मैंने तो
हाँ,
दिख नहीं रहा.
exactly. So we are just going by what we feel are the best possible options. Again, see, dropping an all-rounder is always going to be tricky because you're never sure of when they will come into the game and how they
Hmm.
will come into the game. So that is the risk that you are always going to run if you drop somebody like a Nare.
Yep. If David Willie doesn't play, could Bravo bat up top and so becomes a good
Yeah.
VC going first? So yeah, it's possible, but I feel like Bravo came up in the last game is because there was a collapse that happened. Do you feel that it also you have to answer that question on do you feel like a collapse will happen again? And if your answer is in the positive, then maybe yes, but that totally depends on the conditions and what comes up in front of us as soon as we have the toss.
Yes. Also, just looking at some numbers from last year, Naren took on an average 1 wicket every game,
Hmm.
and uh, and he scored around 20-30 runs every game, and on average 15 to 20 runs. So I think it's not a bad return if you know
Hmm.
somebody who can give you 1 wicket and 15-20 runs, because he's not going to hit singles. He's likely to score those 15-20 off 2-3 boundaries only. So that
Hmm.
also it could potentially give you 40 to 50 points, and I think that's not a bad return at all. Even if you don't want to make him captain, vice captain, I think it's a decent guy to bet on.
Yes, totally. And guys, in case you get any toss information before us because we are live on the stream, we're happy to hear it from you too so that we can go ahead and change and alter insights accordingly. Any thoughts about Mohammad Hasnain? So he bowled quite decently actually in the last game, but he didn't complete his set. Why is something we will not be able to answer, but he bowled only 10 out of 20 when he should have bowled more. But yes, that is a red flag for us when picking a team, right? Because even if he was the best bowler of the day and didn't complete his set in spite of not being injured, then that is a problem. So that's the
Yeah,
reason.
but if he plays, great option to try out because these are the guys that the thing with 100 is you are going to find so many people who could eventually take 3, 4, 5. What Brooks did yesterday,
Hmm.
he's taken 5 wickets all by himself, and everybody is like, किसी को चाहिए क्या wicket तो ले लो. So that is how the games have been. The same thing happened with Jordan Thompson as well. So be very
And it's
careful.
all with Brooks. It happened all in a set, I guess. In a set of 10, he took quite a
Yeah,
few wickets there. So,
yeah, बिल्कुल.
and
Teams
Thompson
love
took a
wins
wicket in
generally.
every set.
Yes, so just England cricket things.
On what basis should we make a small league team? Selection percent or just visualization? So selection percent will never help you, to be honest, because it's just a vague summary of what people might have been thinking after the points of the last game. But if you saw yesterday, Will Smith's selection percent was 34%. But
Yeah,
when you went and saw any mini GL or small league, he was above 65 to 70%. Just because the larger public who is playing only that main Grand League feels like the player might not perform because of lesser points does not mean that that player is uncommon in your smaller leagues or in your mini GLs. Same way
yeah.
for Tim David. Tim David, his like his main percent there was above 50, but if you saw in any mini GL, he was below 20-30% because people felt he was less likely to bat. So,
So I think you see eventually the small league, grand leagues, you are the only thing that matters here is in terms of risk that you are going to take if you are playing a small league or grand league, and that's where it's not even selection percentage. It is more who do you think are your opponents likely to bring in. That's the
hmm,
only point of consideration. Jैसे somebody like a Sunil Narayan, somebody like a Sam Curran. If you want to drop somebody like a Sunil Narayan because he's bowling first, or Sam Curran because he's bowling second, you have to be very sure of them not coming off because they are going to be majority captains and vice captains. And the risk that you run with such players is even if they give you 60 points, that's 120 points for you to cover immediately because then your captain has to fire or your pick
yes.
has to fire 120 points more. So that is the only thing to be considered in terms of when you play small leagues. Otherwise,
Hmm.
it is only visualization, and your best visualization will what you win is what will win you grand leagues. It won't be your dedicated team. वो तो जब you think rightly and you back your combination, that team will win anything. Small league, grand league, सब जीतेगा वो team.
Yes, absolutely. With Oval having a strong bowling lineup, won't be surprised if they collapse again. And if they bat first, does VC become a good CVC choice? So surely he does, but then he's batting really low, right? And he's playing percentage shots which are slightly lower. Like he does play aerial shots, risky shots.
Yeah.
And today he's gonna come up against Sunil Narayan. He's not going to be playing a spin attack or any bowlers that are easy for him to move or hit away. So that will be a key point of consideration for you before you decide to make him captain or vice captain.
Yeah, and always make one team where the favorite team is losing, just like yesterday. I think that is something that I've incorporated now in most of my competitions. That yesterday I felt Southern Brave will win. I had
Hmm.
a combination where I had Brooks, but the problem was I had Wade also because I felt Wade will bat higher up the order, and it was absolute. It made no sense for Wade to be batting in the last set. But again, that's just cricket. At times you can't control that.
Yes, absolutely. And you guys are asking me about what are the best contests to join today. So the leaderboard contest, if you have not joined it, you should go ahead and join it anyway. You have only
Yeah,
3,500 people to compete again, so you must join that. You must also join the free entry contest because that there you have nothing to lose. And apart from that, they also have some contests where you can use bonus in small leagues. So here you can see the rupees 100 contest. You can use 5% bonus there. You can use 5% bonus in their hot contest. So I think these are the best contests for you to join where you can optimize and make the best of your resources.
yes, always. Just keep exploring. As we said, keep exploring. You will find few contests that very few people are playing, and the
Hmm.
competition will also be less in those contests. So that's how you'll be able to be stabilizing in terms of कुछ तो return आपको मिलेगा, no matter how you good or bad your team is.
Right. What about David Willie if he plays? So, like we mentioned, if he plays, obviously he'll be in our team for now. We are not too sure whether he's injured, whether he'll be available. So we have assumed that he won't be playing.
Yeah, if he plays directly slots in to be your good captain, vice captain, especially if he bowls first, definitely.
Nikhil, bhai, what on what basis do you select team one?
So as I said, it's most likely going to be your 7 8 players are going to be there. It's how we just discussed, right? We discussed 8 to 9 players who were part of the team, and then those two players are toss and conditions dependent. Like I said yesterday, I picked Matthew Wade. It didn't work out. I didn't have Brooks. It did not work out, but I still got something back because my base team was strong. It had Will Smith. It had other guys who took wickets. So I had James Fuller. I had Benny Howell. They might not have taken three, but they still took 1-1. So eventually, if more people contribute, then you are still likely to get something back. And that's how I go about it as well. That 8 to 9 players are fixed, base key players, and then the remaining 2 3 are risky. And then in team two, I will make one of those risky players as my captain, vice captain, because I feel they could be the difference makers on the day.
So is the 7-4 combination good today? Probably if you're going in favor of Oval, maybe yes, because they are the home team and they're also the form team. But with Northern Superchargers, maybe you can expect like a comeback or something of that sort. But I would recommend you to try those combinations out only in your high risk leagues.
Yeah, oval is bowling, so it's going to be 7-4 for
A
most
common
people
team.
now. Yeah, but again, here is where you can be very smart in terms of who are your Northern Superchargers batters and all rounders, who you think will make a difference because slow deck है. We know it's tough to score, but chasing में एक विकेट तो जाएगी या दो विकेट भी जा सकती है. तो वो दो प्लेयर कौन है जिन्हें आप लेते हो और क्या वही विकेट लेते हैं? So then you should be set for a good mini GM.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll discuss the team right away then. Now that Oval is bowling first, just waiting for a minute or two to the for the lineups to come out. But
Yeah.
assuming they play a similar 11 to the last game, Reece Topley should slot in for us. Tom
Yes,
Curran
he's
should
playing.
also slot in. Yes.
Topley is playing and there's grass
Then
on the wicket. So Jai
okay, there
Mata
is
Di
grass
time.
on the wicket. Okay. So it's time to drop an opener.
But who?
Yeah.
Drop half in one, drop length in one, drop both of them in one.
Yep, that's the GL call.
Uh,
So we don't know if David Willie is playing yet. We are waiting for the
yeah,
lineups to come out. But assuming that the Superchargers are batting first, and now maybe Michael Pepper becomes a better option.
yeah,
So this is obviously assuming that these guys are playing. If someone is not playing, we'll happily switch in or switch out people. So for now, we'll go with Michael Pepper in the batting, and we are going to leave the openers to wait for the lineups to come out.
yeah. And if you feel one of the openers will see, that is the risk that is always going to be part. If that opener doesn't even get to face the first 15, 20, 10, 15 set of balls and he just
Hmm.
faces one or two balls, he'll still survive. So that is something that is never going to be in your control. But that's what gut feel is all about. Who do you think is going to get that duck, or both of them? The grass could be dead. Who knows? We are not at the venue.
Yeah, that there are many times where the grass is mentioned, but the grass isn't really live or isn't really causing any sort of movement.
Yes, and then we feel the grass is greener on the other side.
That is the story of life. Okay, so
Yes.
we have got the lineups, and
Yep.
Jordan Cox is playing. Sam Billings is not playing. From
Yep.
Oval, Mohammad Hasnain is not playing, so that should tackle all your questions. Matt Mills is their last pacer from that attack, and Danny Briggs is also going to play this game. So that makes it interesting. And then from the Superchargers, they have both their openers, Duplessis and Lith. So Nikhil Bhai is going to drop one. David Willie is not playing this game. So yes, that should
Oh,
clear all questions in that regard. And now we can set up our team.
Yes, it's
And
very
yes, we
strange.
just read that.
It's yeah, it's very strange that you make 11 teams and
Hmm.
everybody's playing.
Oh, that is that's a good
Very rare.
day. That's a
Yeah,
sign of a good day.
yeah. I'll not change maybe then. But I'll still end up changing a few things because I know I'm that kind of eventually gut feel guy.
So we'll pick Tom
Yes.
Curran, Sunil Narayan, and we'll pick up Sam Curran from the batting. We are going to go with Michael Pepper as the
Yeah.
keeper. Jordan Cox is an equally good option because he's guaranteed to keep. They don't have any other choice. We are going to go with Jason Roy chasing. We are also going to go with Riley Russo. I'm assuming that he
Yeah.
is also playing this game.
Yeah. He is.
Yes, he is. And then we have one oval slot still left, which we'll decide at the end. From the Superchargers, we'll surely go with David Visa. We're going to go with Dwayne Bravo. And what do you think about the last few slots? Who fills them in? We have two slots left.
I think the team does look very light on batting
Yep.
for 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 the first innings. Again, I think Simpson could be a very good Grand League option.
Hmm.
Bats very low. If you feel wickets will fall and he could give you decent points, you can try him for Pepper.
Hmm.
I think Adam Blitz should hopefully see out Topley.
Hmm.
Faf has had issues with left arm seam, so one option is to go with Adam Blitz,
Hmm.
and the other, as we said, you could even take something like if you feel Danny Briggs could make a difference because slower deck है,
Hmm.
ग्रास है, पर
Day
अगेन
game.
हाँ डे गेम है तो स्पिनर शायद गेम में आ सकता है तो डैनी ब्रिक्स कैन डेफिनेटली बी टेकन एंड देखो ब्रावो इवेंचुअली यू आर टेकिंग हिम फॉर द बैटिंग पोजीशन और
Hmm.
दैट वाज इन द सेकंड इनिंग्स तो दैट इज आल्सो कॉल दैट यू कैन टेक कि उनका कितना रोल होएगा और
Hmm.
आई थिंक या इट्स मोस्टली गोइंग टू बी दिस ओनली एंड द लास्ट कॉल probably between I don't think Cartwright should get to bat. He's playing, but maybe I might be tempted to take one more bowler from Oval. That's all.
So another bowler from Oval. So practically the only bowlers left is Matt Mills. So are we going Matt Mills and 7-4?
Yeah, again, it's a call that you guys can take. I think I'll still wait for that last 5 minute wali gut feel. But otherwise, we did discuss, right? We have plenty of
Hmm.
options to try out.
Right, fair enough. So
Yeah,
we are
you could
leaving you
go.
with this base
Yeah,
team of 10.
there's just one last player who you can try. That's Adam Hose, because
Hmm.
middle overs players. So maybe he could easily slot into your side if you feel that beach वालों को ज़्यादा batting मिलेगी.
And Will Jack's not present today, so will the opener be Russo or do you see someone else opening?
Very interested
Because
to
they have
see if
Haynes, who's
yeah,
also
exactly.
actually an opener.
Yeah, so that's something that can also be tried in a mini GL team where you make Hales a very key part of your team.
Fair enough. And
Maybe
captain
they
and
could.
vice
Yeah.
captain would be pretty standard, I feel. I think Sam, because if there's movement up front, he'll be able to exploit it. And maybe
Yes.
your vice captain can be either of the other bowlers. If you want, Narayan would obviously be slightly risky now because he's bowling first, so maybe one of
Yeah.
Topley or Curran.
Yeah. One of Topley. You could even go very risky with Tom Curran.
Hmm.
Again, your call. I think he should bowl at in the last set, and
Hmm.
even if they get a good score, he should still be coming in and taking 2 3 wickets. Again, if he bowls there, that is. So that
Fair
could
enough.
be a very good option. And yeah, we did discuss do try Jason Roy. I don't
Hmm.
know if it works. We'll clip this out and then push it out uh, on Twitter as well.
So yes, for now we're going to go with the Karim brothers as captain and vice captain. Last slot I've just put in Fab for now, but I'll give you a final update after I think of that one in peace.
Yeah, yeah. We even I think Naren could be a handy vice captain option as well. So again, please go
Yes,
ahead with what you feel is likely to happen.
absolutely. So if you guys have any questions, we can quickly take them in the last 3 4 minutes, and then we are happy to
Yeah,
close the discussion.
yeah,
And this is the team once again. Michael Pepper in the keeping section. Faf or Lit, I'm going to pick either one. I'll update on Telegram. Then
yeah,
you have Russo and Roy, three all-rounders, Visa, Sam Curran and Sunil Narayan. And three bowlers, Dwayne Bravo, Tom Curran, vice captain, and Reece Topley.
yeah. Again, logic है जो भी pick करने में. I think you could drop one of the openers, take an extra bowler if you want. अगर आपको लगता है कि राशिद could come into the game into the second innings,
Hmm.
again completely your call. TNPL की फील दे रहा है ये टूर्नामेंट. So yeah, go with your gut feel.
Totally. What about Rolf van der Merwe? We discussed that he's pretty much a handy choice. Maybe if you want to slot him in for one of the batters, it makes more sense because dropping any of the bowlers would be very risky here
Yeah,
on.
yeah. You can try him for Naren if you want. Again, it's a call
Hmm.
that you can take because पहले इनिंग में अगर नरेन विकेट्स नहीं ले रहा है, he's going to bat very low. I don't know if he'll open. He should not ideally. But yeah,
Right. Will
keep
Tom
options open.
bowl in slog overs? So good call. Yes, Tom Curran will
Hopefully,
mostly bowl in that last set, like as per whatever we have seen till now. So if that happens, therefore we are making him vice captain, thinking that that should actually be the case.
yeah.
Briggs or Matt Mills?
Phew, both. It's a very 50-50 call. Just depending on how much impact, because Briggs may not get to bowl a lot if Adam Leach
That's
survives.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so that is also something that you have to see. Uh, Very tricky call. With 100, you're not sure of how many sets each bowler is going to get, unless he's
Hmm.
a power play bowler or a legit death overs bowler. So I think anybody apart from those guys, it's always going to be a tricky call.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah,
So, guys, if any other questions, you can put them in the comments, or else we
yeah,
can close the discussion for today. Also, all
yeah.
of you that are here, please do share this video with everyone who you
Yes,
feel it'll be relevant to. Hit the like
yeah,
button so that we can also reach to more people like you and give the best sort
yes,
of advice.
yes. Please always happy to have positive and constructive feedback so that we can serve you better. And yes, please do like, share, and subscribe because आप हो तो हम हैं और आपका सपोर्ट रहेगा तो ही हम रहेंगे.
Totally, totally. So, I
Yep,
guess that's it then for today. Thank you so much
yep.
for all the questions, and we'll see you in again tomorrow for another preview. Thank you so much for
See
tuning in,
you.
guys.
Bye bye. Take care.